Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo 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 Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Reading from Srimad-Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 1, Text 3. Read verse and purport. Nigama kalpa taror galitham phalam shukha mukhadam rita drava sangyutam pibhata bhagavatam rasamalayam muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavukaha. Translation. O expert and thoughtful men, relish Srimad-Bhagavatam, the mature fruit of the desired tree of Vedic literatures. It emanated from the lips of Sri Shukadev Goswami. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful, although its nectarian juice was already relishable for all, including liberated souls. Purport. The Vedas are compared to the desired tree because they every living entity beginning from Brahma, the first-born living being within the material world, down to the insignificant ant, desires to relish some sort of taste derived from sense perception. These sensual pleasures are technically called rasas. Such rasas are of different varieties. In the revealed scriptures, the following 12 varieties of rasas are enumerated. Raudra, anger. Adbhut, wonder. Shringar, conjugal love. Hasya, hasya, comedy. Veera, chivalry. Daya, mercy. Dasya, servitorship. Sakya, fraternity. Bhayanaka, horror. Bibhatsa, shock. Shanta, neutrality. And Vatsalya, parenthood. The sum total of all the rasas is called affection or love. Primarily, such signs of love are manifested in adoration, service, friendship, parental affection, and conjugal love. And then, when these five are absent, love is present indirectly in anger, wonder, comedy, chivalry, fear, shock, and so on. For example, when a man is in love with a woman, the rasa is called conjugal love. But when such love affairs are disturbed, they may be wonder, anger, shock, or even horror. Sometimes love affairs between two persons culminate in ghastly murder scenes. Such rasas are displayed between man and man, between animal and animal. There is no possibility of an exchange or rasa between a man and an animal, or between a man and any other species of living beings within the material world. The rasas are exchanged between members of the same species, but as far as spirit souls are concerned, they are qualitatively with the Supreme Lord. Therefore, the rasas were originally exchanged between the spiritual living being and the spiritual whole, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the rasas were originally exchanged between... Yeah, I read that. The spiritual... Is it written twice? The spiritual exchange or rasa is fully exhibited in spiritual existence between the living being and the Supreme Lord. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namani Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Prachadine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatadine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasani Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Nigama kalpataror galitham phalam shukha mukadamrita dravasam yutam pibatam bhagatam rasamalaya muhu arho rasika bhuvi bhavukaha. O expert and thoughtful men, relish Srimad-Bhagavatam, the mature fruit of the desired tree of Vedic literatures. It emanated from the lips of Sri Shukadev Goswami. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful, although its nectarian juice was already relishable for all, including liberated souls. So this verse is referring to a specific section of people. Expert and thoughtful men. Are you expert, thoughtful? then this is for you. Relish Srimad-Bhagavatam. A whole topic has been introduced here, of which Srimad-Bhagavatam is a great source. Topic of rasa. So it's explained like this, that all living entities have a desire to experience or taste some kind of perception, taste. They want to taste something. Not food, it can be food also, but experience. So for that, they want to engage their senses to derive this taste. This is every single living entity. It's from Brahma down to the ant. From Brahma down to the insignificant ant. Every living being desires to relish some sort of taste derived from sense perception, different experiences. So otherwise, why do people go hiking or biking? They go riding bikes, some nature trail. Why do people play sports? Why do they watch films? Why do they collect stamps? Why do they meet with friends and go to the bar, or whatever people do? Why do people why do men seek women and women seek men? Why? Because the jiva has to relish some sort of taste, some sort of experience. Jiva is pleasure seeking. This pleasure is called rasa. This pleasure that they are seeking is called rasa. There is different kind of rasa. Different kind of rasas. We only now have experience with material rasa. But there is another rasa. It's called spiritual rasa. Spiritual and material rasas exist in this creation. But right now, people are in ignorance. They only know about material rasa. So people out of ignorance are just going after those tastes. So the material rasa means that it's only derived from matter. Interaction of matter with matter. This material body is engaging with material things, material senses. Everyone has different kind of guna, different kind of svabhav. And so they all go for different kind of rasas. They all have different kind of desires, how to enjoy, based on their guna, mixture from past life, svabhava, basically. So all these different kind of gunas, because of that, we have so many different kind of things, activities in this material world people do. And services people offering, how you can enjoy like this, like that. And definitely there'll be some takers. People will try, because everyone wants to enjoy. So much effort we do to relish this material rasa, that people work hard, very hard. We can't imagine how, humanly not possible. Why? So they can accumulate money. Why? So they can enjoy rasa. People are struggling to get this rasa. So their idea is, if I'm going to enjoy, I have to get money, so I have to work hard and then I'll enjoy it. This is their idea. And Prabhupada calls it one purpose, mamonistic philosophy. Work hard, enjoy hard. Work hard, play hard, whatever they say. So work hard, definitely they have to work very hard, because in Kali Yuga, in order to get a little happiness, little money, one has to work very hard. This is the nature, if you're on the material platform. From Shastra, we understand that there's another kind of rasa that is called spiritual rasa. That spiritual rasa is different from the material rasa. People not having that information, they're not going after that. But once we get that knowledge and experience spiritual rasa, we realize this is something totally different. It is coming from a different plane, different platform. And someone not relishing but just looking, he'll think, idiot fellow, why is he doing these spiritual activities? Why is he wasting time, wasting money, wasting youth? What for? Due to ignorance about not knowing about rasa. But that person is experiencing it. He's experiencing some taste from spiritual activity. Spiritual rasa comes from spiritual activity. Within the spiritual rasa, there's so many varieties of enjoying spiritually. Due to ignorance, as I said, people cannot see it. So what you see, you don't see. Less intelligent people, what they don't see, they deny it. It's not there, or it's not real, or it's imaginary, or it's indoctrinated. Different words they give that. Why this person is doing bhakti and enjoying, it's not really there, it's not possible. So this spiritual rasa does exist. Shastra tells us that there are 12 kind of spiritual experiences, rasas that one can experience. So they're given here: anger, wonder, conjugal love, comedy, chivalry like bravery, mercy, servitorship, fraternity, friendship, fraternity, horror, shock, neutrality, parenthood. Out of these, 5 are primary, 7 are secondary. 5 primary rasas are generally present. That is a relation which is in conjugal love, or parenthood, or friendship, servitorship, or neutrality. When they are absent, the same relation is experienced, but in other secondary, like secondary, adbhuta, wonder, anger, mercy. I don't know if you're understanding this concept. But when the 5 primary ways of one people relating are not there, then the secondary ones are there. Just like someone gets angry with someone for something in a family. He'll not get angry with the postman. But because of love, that anger comes. And mercies also. These are all, and then it says here, sum total of rasas is affection or love. Actually, love is there. But it's coming manifested in these ways: horror, shock. If a normal person on the street, like the milkman comes, he just puts the milk and goes, ignores you. Every day he does it. You don't care. Why? So what? But if someone you know, you love, come and does that, then you get angry, you shout, why are you doing like this? So it's a form of love in coming in a different way. Sum total is affection or love. Primarily, such signs of love are manifested in, it says here, adoration, service, friendship, parental affection, and conjugal love. And when these 5 are absent, love is present indirectly. Anger, wonder, comedy, chivalry, fear, shock, and so on. So example is given as that a man and woman, it says that they have, it says here, that rasa is called conjugal love. When it's disturbed, there may be wonder, anger, shock, or horror, but that's stemming from that love. These are perverted ideas, perverted of what the real spiritual thing is. That's we're giving an example of material. But it is a fact. This is rasa. There is rasa, which is pure, not on material platform or material relation, spiritual rasa. But it says here that rasa, when we speak about rasa, material, spiritual, can only be between species, same species. There cannot be vatsalya rasa between dog and man. Some kind of between a man and dog, there's some kind of relation of affection. But that's not really this, do you really have a feeling like this is my child, that feeling, it cannot be substituted for dog. And neither can friendship. But sometimes people get a dog not having that relation, but it will never substitute. It will not be replacing that. But they try, due to missing the rasa, they have to have some rasa. So they do that, especially in for example, some countries in Europe, there's a lot of this individuality, people drifting apart, no families, no couples, and they actually have 1 BHK apartments, whole skyscraper for one person, accommodation for one person. Kitchen is small, like a cupboard. Then one small room, bedroom, hole enough for one person enter, then enter. Where you going? Kitchen, bathroom.
Studio.
Not studio. Studio means kitchen attached to main, how, everything is connected, no walls. But this means actually small houses meant for one person, because people are living alone. And so definitely you'll find so many dogs and cats around, and hamsters and whatever pets they like to keep. To try to substitute that rasa, it doesn't work. Otherwise people will be so happy and, but still they're not happy. The proof is that they still working hard, still going with the dog on vacation. If you're happy, why are you going on vacation? Still you're not happy. Yeah. So it says here that you cannot have the exchange of rasa between members of different species. It says that. So regarding rasa, when we speak about jiva, souls, us, why do we exist? Why did we come about in this world? What is the purpose? Shastra explains, Eko Bahusyam. He was one, he became many. Referring to Krishna. He was there. In the beginning was only him. Aham eva asham eva agre. In the beginning Krishna says it was only me. Now he expanded in us, we expanded from him. Vibhinangsha, now that we are his level, we are separated part and parcel. So he expanded. Why did he expand into jivas? Because if someone wants to relish rasa, people have to be around. So Krishna has his Goloka Leela. In the Leela he is with all his devotees and they're enjoying in different ways, different rasas. So that was the purpose. He expanded, the jivas expanded to enter into that pastimes, and so Krishna derives great pleasure from that. This is rasa, from spiritual rasa. Krishna is pleasure seeking. He'll seek rasa in different ways, enjoy, and all in different varieties. He will have relations in a conjugal way, in a fraternal way, then parental, as a child, master, servant relation, and he's relishing all these different rasas. So that we are also part and parcel of Krishna, and so we are also enjoying these rasas. But the science of rasa tells us that raso vaisaha, Krishna is the full container of rasas. Raso vaisaha, he is the complete container of rasa. In this house, we open the tap and water comes. But all of this water is coming from one place, from the tank. So in this material world, there are different kinds of happiness and pleasure derived from different ways. But Krishna is the reservoir of that. Even material happiness. Material happiness comes from Krishna, but not directly, in an indirect way. Jada ras. But the original rasa comes from Krishna. That he is the container. But people are trying to get this rasa not from Krishna. They are trying to get it from jada, from material ways. This is a big mistake, because the jiva is spiritual. How can jada ras satisfy him? The spiritual rasa we have information is so tasty, so relishable, that one who experiences, he goes mad and forgets any other taste. Others can't understand. So many scholars in the West studying Gaudiya philosophy, they said Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had epilepsy. He had some kind of disease. He starts shaking, shivering. They say that. They don't understand spiritual rasa. So actually the spiritual rasa is so relishable, and that once having got it, one cannot be happy with any other taste. For example, a crude example, that lions eat different animals. They eat meat. So when a lion by some accident or whatever circumstance, happens to eat a man, everyone in the village leaves all activities and goes hunts for that lion, because it becomes a man-eater. That lion won't eat anything else now. He'll just go after men because the taste of man is better. As Prabhupada said once, that these people, meat eaters, they didn't realize that the best tasting meat is human. They didn't. Well, they'll realize as Kali Yuga goes on, and then, eating goat, eating chicken. Why not eat a man? So then that lion becomes a man-eater. Then everyone will stop their work and look after that lion and kill it, because it's going to end up coming every night and killing. So similarly, someone who knows about rasa, it's in Vedic culture. Keep your son away from spiritual activity. Any hint, so many times in programs, you see the parents are coming nicely, taking part, getting involved, and so where are the children? He's busy, he's doing that, he cannot come. It's Sunday, he had his activities. Or they may bring, okay, but don't get too involved, just be far away, because they understand, actually, this is more bliss, and this can happen. So some purposely, they'll practice Krishna consciousness, but not too much. Don't read too much, because what will happen? How will we sustain our material life? But actually this is due to ignorance. Originally Jiva is spiritual and has to relish spiritual rasa. In absence of that, they are going after Jara rasa, and what happened? They are not happy. They are not at all happy. It's like someone who's perpetually hungry, and you tell him, okay, do this, do that, okay, now go and buy that, okay, do this, and he's hungry. He cannot focus on anything, neither will he be happy, unless he's a devotee and he's doing it for Krishna. Then he can do it in any condition. Like on Janmashtami, we'll fast whole day and do all the services. But talking about normal people, if a normal person is hungry, he cannot do much, and he'll try and do different activities, but at the back of his mind, when will I eat? When will I eat? And then he hears a bell, oh, lunch bell. No, that is my plate dropped. Oh, everything he'll just think about that thing. So he cannot really do much. He's always looking for that happiness. So that unsatisfied, one who goes after material sense gratification, unsatisfied, constantly seeking, most miserable person, not happy, cannot be peaceful in harmony with any activity he does. So from Shastra, what we understand, spiritual rasa is so tasty. Svada, the taste, is so tasty that simply by experiencing it, one gives up all sinful activity, all kind of any other activity, one gives up. Spiritual rasa, but there's no knowledge of it. This is the problem. One has to learn to relish it. If we say that spiritual rasa is so tasty, but people are not able to relish it, they'll hear kirtan, it's so nice, but they can't understand what it is. They taste prasad, it's nice, okay, but they go back in the material life and that's it, they're lost. So what is the issue? The issue here is that although spiritual rasa is so tasty, we cannot fully relish because we are covered. Avrityam jnanam. Atha Krishna Ramadi na bhavet grahyam indriyai. Sevan mukhe hi jivada sameva swaretyada. The Krishna's guna rupa nama lila, Krishna nam adi, etc., name, form, quality, pastimes, cannot be relished by material senses. Our senses are covered. Prabhupada gave example that supposing we hear good music, but I play very good music, but I cover your ears. You will not hear properly. Then you will not be able to hear it and relish it. Then you will not know it's so good. Or I want to eat something, but the tongue is covered with a bandage and I can't taste. I might get one drop something, but I can't really taste. And I want to see, but I can't, my eyes are covered. Our senses are covered. We cannot experience spiritual taste. We cannot experience Krishna. We cannot experience spiritual rasa. So this is a very unfortunate condition, Prabhupada says. We are in a situation where Jiva wants to be happy but cannot be happy. He's covered. Avrityam jnanam etina. So then the same shloka says, Sevan mukha hi jivada swayameva suratyada, that we have to be sevan mukha. Now we are, how do you say, sukha mukha. We are seeking our attraction is happiness. But instead of seeing everything how to satisfy me, I have to see how to serve Krishna. In that consciousness, seven mukha consciousness, Krishna is real. We can experience. That requires practice. Jiva though, beginning with the tongue. Tongue must chant Hare Krishna. Tongue must take prasad. This is the beginning of bhakti. Taking prasad, chanting, then gradually we become uncovered. So, in order to experience spiritual rasa, which is spoken about here, one has to have uncovered senses. How to uncover the senses? How to uncover senses? How do you uncover blocked senses?
By chanting.
Basically, it's what is the saying that the means and the end are the same. I want to connect to Krishna and experience. Actually, when we say I want to experience spiritual rasa, is it selfish? I should not have any desire. But to experience Krishna, actually, how do you experience Krishna? The very form is when we serve Krishna. When we come in contact with Krishna through seva and desiring to serve Him, then we get this rasa. So, it's not really a desire. It is our nature of the jiva to be in a state of how to serve Krishna, not how to serve myself. Seven mukha. So what we are experiencing now, if you want to understand spiritual rasa, you have to understand that this material world is a photocopy of the original. Okay, now you have something called color copy. But before, photocopy meant something really horrible, black and white, sometimes with patches and lines. Then the original one was so nice. What happened to this? So, photocopy is not the original. It's not the original. The shadow, hand is variegated, 3D, skin, color. But the shadow is just one color and an outline. So, this material world is a photocopy. This relation that we have in this material world is a photocopy. Krishna is original enjoyer. Krishna as a child, we are meant to serve. So everyone think, no, I should enjoy like Krishna as a child. So we take birth as a child and we get mother and father and we become the center. It's not natural. Neither will the mother and father be happy serving a material child as they will be serving Krishna. That relation between child and parent and mother, this is actually to speak from Shastra, Mayic relation. It's based on illusion because that is not the relation between the jivas. The jivas are all having on the same level and the relation of parent is Krishna. Krishna, aham pitasya jagatha mata dhata pitamaha. I am the father of even this living entity. I am the mother. I am the grandfather. So anyone else taking a role as mother, father, that is not. That is artificial. That is a copy. That is the jada. Actual spiritual relation is Krishna as that we are Krishna as a child and we are taking care of Krishna. And relation between men and women, happiness, that is also not real. They are two jivas trying to exchange in the conjugal way. That is actually in 11th canto. Krishna says the most miserable person is one actively seeking calm, interpreted as illicit sex. Most miserable because he is trying to relish something, the material taste, which is originally spiritual, and that material taste is greatest material happiness, and so the greatest binding for the soul. It puts him more in illusion, much more. Therefore, that more than anything, material sex is most binding, and that's only allowed in one of the ashramas in Vedic culture. It's most binding and bewildering, and it takes away all good character, all spiritual qualities. So that's mentioned. So I was saying that this material world is a reflection. So the greatest rasa, adi rasa, is spiritual sex. That is something we cannot explain, we cannot discuss much. We should know it exists. And therefore what we have material sex. But here, this is something to be hidden and not discussed. It's something abominable, And but in the spiritual world, it's the greatest thing. People write on it, sing bhajan, something different which we can't understand, like gold and iron. So enough to understand, we just have to understand that here, this spiritual rasa, material rasa we have, is a reflection of the spiritual one. It cannot satisfy. It is a illusory arrangement which is being perpetuated, and finally one has to come out of it, come out of trying to relish the material rasa. Otherwise, we cannot spiritualize and uncover our senses for the spiritual rasa. This spiritual rasa explained here. More details will be given. But why are we speaking about rasa at all? Because this Srimad-Bhagavatam is explaining now in the 3rd verse. Vyasadeva is saying, Nigama kalpatarur galitam phalam shuka mukhad amrita drava sangyutam. The Bhagavatam is the fruit, ripened fruit of the desire tree of Vedic literature, spoken by Shukadeva Goswami. Pibatam Bhagavatam rasam. Vyasadeva is saying, expert and thoughtful, muhu aho rasika bhuvi bhavukaha. Oh, expert and thoughtful men, rasika means one who is expert in rasa. Expert. No, rasik means one who relishes rasa. Expert means rasik shekhar. So one who relishes rasa is rasika. One who wants to relish rasa is being called. You want to enjoy, you want to experience happiness, come to Bhagavatam. Pibatam Bhagavatam rasam alayam. Don't go for material things. Don't go for material rasa. Don't try to enjoy material relations in this world. Relish Srimad-Bhagavatam, because it is spiritual. Muhu, again, relish it. Muha aho rasika bhuvi bhavukaha. So Vyasadeva said that. Further on in Bhagavatam, what happens? The sages, they say to the speaker, it will be Sutta Goswami or Shukadeva Goswami, Vayam tu na vrittipyama uttama shloka vikrame. They're saying that we are not satisfied hearing these narrations of yours on Srimad-Bhagavatam. We are not satisfied. It's so relishable. It's so tasty. Yad shinvanta rasa jnanam swadu swadu pade pade. That by hearing this Bhagavatam with knowledge of rasa, yat shinvanta rasa jnanam swadu swadu pade pade. We relish happiness at every step. Swad, taste we're getting. So again, people are used to fun being that I go jump and dance in a club, one hand holding a beer, another hand holding a cigarette, and he's having fun. That is fun. Or fun is I go fast in my car and play loud music. It's bliss. But there's another bliss where you're just sitting and you're experiencing such a happiness that we can't understand. But the spiritual rasa is like that. It's from within. You don't have to do anything. Once someone told Srila Prabhupada, look at this picture. Oh, you look so angry and serious. Prabhupada looked at the picture seriously. This was a moment of great ecstasy. So we cannot understand, but it's different. Spiritual rasa, it comes. It doesn't depend on anything that I'm going to do this, but it depends on the consciousness being adjusted, the covering being removed. Because by nature, when Jiva does bhakti, automatically he comes under happiness. Because he comes under hladini shakti. He comes under spiritual energy. 3 things come. Samvit, sandani, hladini. Happiness, eternality, knowledge. Everything will come. Knowledge will come. Eternality, no more birth and death. And happiness. Automatically. Bhakti is done under Bhakti Devi. So hladini shakti personified is Radharani. But spiritual happiness, material happiness comes under Durga. That will come with, some kind of happiness comes, but also Trishul will come, poking. The sadness and the suffering comes with material happiness. Actually, material happiness and material sadness, there is no difference. But Maya cheats that it's different. It's not. Spiritual sadness and spiritual happiness are both happy. They're not. They're both blissful. So that is the nature. So now here, Vyasadeva is saying, come for that. Come and experience spiritual rasa. Pibatam. Pibatam means drink. Drink, because some nectar beverage is drunk. Drink the nectar of this, drink this nectar. Actually speaking, that nectar won't come till the end, till you're ready, till uncovered. We are uncovered when we reach canto 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Especially 7, that's very nice. And 4, Dhruv Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, nectarian prayers. Those are actually for us so relishable. So that is the, after you uncover, then really the rasa will come. Otherwise we can't really experience it. So, Pibatam Bhag, oh expert and thoughtful man, who is expert and thoughtful? If you're expert and thoughtful, come, drink this rasa. And that other material rasa, as Bhagavatam is very clear from beginning, that is not rasa. That is not rasa. These the material feelings and relations between people in form of, in conjugal, so-called romantic lust. And they say love, it's lust. And even as Prabhupada said, any material relation, love doesn't really exist in this material world. Closely it comes with parent and child, but even that is not, that is also some kind of material sense gratification is there. And that you will know when you do what they don't want you to. Suddenly love has gone. But if it is on the basis of Krishna, then one of Prabhupada's disciples, his female disciples asked Srila Prabhupada directly. She had a child. She said that if I love my child, then will I be able to increase my love of God? Prabhupada said, no. If you really love God, then only can you really love your child. It goes through Krishna. Love goes through Krishna. That is real love. Otherwise it's not. Friendship should be on spiritual basis. How to, on basis of Krishna consciousness. Friendship, parenthood, then it is. Otherwise it's not. It's a material relation. Pibatam Bhagavatam. So drink Srimad-Bhagavatam and relish the rasa, it's mentioned here. That is what we are seeking, birth after birth. We are seeking it. We don't know because we're in ignorance. But when we get the taste through Shastra, through Kirtan, Prasad, then we realize this is it. And an intelligent person will pursue it. And don't go back to the material rasa. Any question? Yeah, one question.
Like you said, like Lord Krishna, like why we exist.
Yes.
So Lord Krishna expanded like Eko Bahusham.
Yeah.
So, but we know that like Lord Krishna is self-satisfied, Atmaram. So is there any contradiction in those two things, or like how do we understand?
Okay, so question is that Krishna expanded. I mentioned Eko Bahusyam, that he was one and he became many for his enjoyment. So, but we say that Krishna is supposed to be self-satisfied, Atma Rama. So how is that? So the answer is that yes, Krishna is self-satisfied. Just like we say, Jivas in material world, you're meant to serve Krishna. Come and serve him. He's feeling pained by your absence. All of us, he has a relation, each one of us. But Krishna can enjoy without. Why does if he's God, why should I have to go to? No, he can be on his own. He can relish and enjoy on his own. He doesn't need us. But to increase, he relishes. But he can also increase without us. We are not required in one way, but he is happy to be with us. So there is no contradiction.
I have a question.
Question.
So can you further elaborate on the point of wanting to experience spiritual rasa, not being selfish? You mentioned it towards the start of the lecture.
Okay. So question is that explain on spiritual rasa not being selfish. The very basis of spiritual rasa is seven mukha. If we go deeper into that, we'll understand that at all to come on the platform of spirituality means we have to change our consciousness to serving Krishna. The whole basis is that. And bahir mukha, that is the jada. The material condition is that getting attracted to external things and wanting to satisfy myself. But the very definition of bhakti is that anukulyana Krishna anushilanam bhakti uttama. That serving Krishna, how he wants to be served, what he wants, anukulyana, favorably, is bhakti. So practically, if we talk about spiritual rasa, relishing anything, the basis is service to Krishna. Wanting to serve Him as a parent, wanting to serve Him as a friend, wanting to serve. So, one who doesn't know said, okay, I want to enjoy spiritual rasa, I want to go. Okay, that's a beginning, good. But it's not pure desire. But because you came in contact with these desires, will be guided to purity. Just like the story of somebody, thief. He was sitting in an assembly once and hearing about Krishna. Krishna is so beautiful. Krishna is with jewels. Krishna is opulent. Krishna is like this, like that. Krishna's father is so rich. So this is a thief. He's thinking, who is this Krishna? I have to find him. He's so wealthy, so he's got all. So he goes around looking for Krishna, and because in the forest he's looking for Krishna, and because of his sincere desire, he gets Krishna. But he went with the wrong mood, but in that search he became pure. So one is thinking spiritual rasa, I want to enjoy, go to enjoy, chant Hare Krishna, be happy and to be happy. So good, that's the beginning. But actually to come to the point that one has to really come to the point of spiritual rasa, one has to have developed the service attitude. So in that way it won't be selfish. Hare Krishna. Any other question? Srimad-Bhagavatam ki jai.